What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how do Amazon FBA payments to you work? What are the payment schedule details? There's a lot of things that people don't understand, and a lot of times people are expecting to get their money and it comes slower than what they think. So here we go. So the first thing is Amazon pays you via direct deposit into your bank account every 14 days, okay? But there's several details or I don't want to say catches, but there's several little things about it that you don't get all your money in 14 days. So the very first thing is that any sales that happen within the last 10 days of being shipped to a customer are held in an unavailable balance, okay? So what happens is if you sell an item today, and let's just say it's January 1st, and let's say the customer gets it on January 3rd or January 4th, okay? And they get their Prime 2-day shipping, okay? Then the balance is held for 10 days after that, okay? So now we're talking January 12th or January 13th, okay? Until the money for that sale becomes available, okay? And then Amazon pays every 14 days. So if Amazon happens to pay on, say, January 10th of that particular month, and the payment goes out on the 10th, well, you're not going to get that money until the next payment, which will be on the 24th, okay? So remember, you made the sale on the 1st, and you're getting the money on the 24th, okay? So that's actually 24 days since you sold it, okay? So sometimes it happens. Sometimes it'll fall in the same pay period. It just depends on how the day falls, okay? But the other thing is that then the direct deposit, Amazon says it takes 3 to 5 days, okay? So sometimes you get it in a day or two. It just depends on your bank and one time the transfer went out and all that good stuff, okay? So sometimes you are not going to get your money for a sale for 30 days, okay? So there's several things you can do about this. So let's switch to the Amazon help page. I'm going to show you a couple things they talk about. Okay, so we're here on the Amazon help page, and what I suggest you do is when you start making sales, you go into your Amazon account and click on, it's under reports, and then you go to your payments, and it will break down for you all your given stuff, okay? So if you sell $10,000 worth of items, and let's just say that you had $1,000 worth of PPC cost, pay-per-click advertising, that's gonna come right off the top, okay? Amazon just takes that out and you don't have to worry about paying them or anything like that, okay? So then you would have 9,000 left, okay? And then your 9,000 would be sent to your bank account, whichever pay period it happens to fall into every 14 days. So what will happen is a lot of people will run into cash flow issues if they don't have a lot of extra cash in the bank, okay? Because what will happen is Amazon will owe them thousands of dollars, okay? But you might not get that money for 30 days later or so, okay? And you might need that money to pay your bills at home, to pay your mortgage, or whatever you need it for, or to order more inventory, okay? So first of all, there's a whole bunch of reasons here that you can see on this particular Amazon help page, okay? And most of the time, this stuff doesn't affect you, okay? But the main question here is, how can I get my money faster, okay? So first of all, if you're just starting, I've known people that went out and took a personal bank loan, and they went to the bank, and the bank checks their credit, and they get a personal loan for maybe $5,000 to start. And for some people that don't have any money saved, which unfortunately is a lot of Americans nowadays, and well, not even just Americans, people around the world, that might be your only option to start. I mean, that's better than putting on a credit card, but the thing about credit cards is if you know how to use a credit card, they're actually not very bad. I use the Capital One business card. I think it's the Spark business card. It gives me 2% cash back on everything, okay? So it's really good because when you're ordering from Alibaba, a lot of suppliers will charge you a 3%, 4% fee, and you getting 2% cash back really helps with that. The other thing too is that when you pay for something on your credit card, like your supplies. A lot of times, if I pay for that on January 1st, my payment might not be due until 45 days later, okay? Because again, they'll pay every 30 days, but a lot of times it's kind of the same thing. You're in the middle of the pay period and you don't qualify for the next period, so your payment might not be due for 45 days. So that actually kind of gives you some cash flow advantages to pay for with a credit card. But I always recommend paying for them in full on your credit card so you don't get any interest charges, okay? And then you're getting that 2% cash back. I mean, worst case scenario, you can't pay it back for a month or two and you pay a little bit of interest. That's not the end of the world. So the next option I want to talk to you about is a company called Payability. And they're a company that will pay you every single day based on your Amazon account and your Amazon sales. So they'll look at your Amazon sales and they will literally pay you every single day if you choose to get that money faster than waiting for Amazon to pay you, the 30 or 40 some days sometimes that it takes to get paid for any individual sale or a whole bunch of sales that you make. So Payability has so many unique features. So one, they don't do credit checks, okay? So where like a bank loan or a personal loan, you have to go to the bank and you have to do a personal credit check. And if your credit isn't that great, they're not going to approve you. So Payability is based on your Amazon account and how many Amazon sales you're making and, that type of stuff. So it's really great. So they charge anywhere from 1% to 2% fee for US people, and for out-of-country people, it's, I believe, 3%. And so to get money for 2% is pretty much like the cheapest financing of option that you can pretty much get. Nobody's going to lend you money for less than 2%. And there's a couple advantages there. So one, they have another program with an instant cash advance where you can get like a big lump sum of money based on your Amazon sales, and that can help you reorder. If you have to reorder, or if you want to start a second or third or fourth product, that can really help you, because what happens is a lot of people will start their Amazon business and they'll become successful and they'll be making thousands of dollars. But what will happen is a lot of that money is tied up for 30 or 45 days while they're waiting for their payments, and they have to reorder inventory. And because they're waiting on that money, they can't launch another product. So a lot of people, instead of growing super, super fast and maybe hitting that $1 million a year mark that everybody is trying to hit, they might not, it might take them twice as long because they don't have financing and they're waiting on their cash flow always. It's a constant battle waiting 30 to 45 days for their payments. So Payability kind of solves that problem with, one, they'll give you your daily deposits, and two, you can get a cash advance based on your daily, how much money you have in your account and stuff like that. So also they have an option where they will pay you they have their own Visa card, and they'll pay you and just put money on the Visa card like a debit card would be. You have a debit card and you have $1,000 in there. They'll pay you that way, and their Visa card gives you a 2% cash back, which officially negates the fee. So you might be paying them a 2% fee, but you're getting a 2% cash back fee on their Visa. So it's a way to actually get funding for 0%, which would cost you nothing. So they're a really great service. This is their debit card I was talking about. This is probably the easiest option for Amazon sellers to be able to get funding, to get financing, or to get money ahead of time instead of waiting for Amazon to pay you. So it's actually a really great option. So I asked Payability, I went to them directly and I asked if I could get a deal for my YouTube subscribers and people in my group. And they actually gave me a $200 sign-up bonus that anybody gets for using my link. And the link is down below in the description. And I thought that was awesome because the $200 is going to help negate really any fees that they might be charging you for a while. And also getting a free $200 for signing up with them and getting your cash flow a lot better is a whole lot better than getting a $0 sign-up bonus. So again, link down below in the description if you're interested in this particular service. So the third and last final option is more for when you're an experienced seller and you have maybe a year or two of tax returns on the books, or you have some significant sales, is you can go to the bank and get what's called a business line of credit, okay? So I had one of these for my past businesses where it was a limousine and bus transportation business. I started it with one limo and we grew to 15 limos and buses. By the time I sold it at around 15,000 customers. And you know, the problem with a business like that, or actually most businesses, is that you need a lot of money to start something. So if I wanted to grow, you know, that business, a lot of times it meant adding another limo or bus, okay? Well, limo or bus was $50,000 to $100,000 on average, sometimes, you know, even more. Okay, so if I wanted a $75,000, you know, bus, I would use my business line of credit sometimes because I could literally just write a check from the bank because I had this money available. It was available to me whenever I wanted to use it. And then I would only start paying interest on it once I've actually used the money and I actually wrote the check. And whenever I paid that off and it was paid off completely, I wouldn't pay any interest either, okay? So you would only pay interest on it when you actually, you know, write a check and use the money. It's kind of like money sitting there that's available to you. Okay, but new sellers probably aren't going to be able to get a business line of credit. They would have to go the personal loan route or the payability route. But I think payability, you have to have 90 days of seller history available, okay? So those are kind of your main options there for financing and starting your business and funding your business as you go along, because a lot of times, you know, cash flow is king, and you want to be prepared because if you need to reorder, you want to have money available. And again, you can do that on a credit card and not really have to pay that payment for 30 to 45 days. You know, a lot of times that's a great option. So if you have any questions, ask me down below in the comments and I will answer. I'm going to link a couple other videos for you over here that you should watch if you haven't seen them. And I will see you in the next video. Make sure you've subscribed.